It's pretty. Oh, slap. Yeah, I'll take one water. I thought he was asking me mine. What?
Hang on the bar.
All right, testing. All right, Shalom Israel. Shalom Yabashim Yashabrak Thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahshmal Athab Bashim Yahshai to the sisters. We, the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group.
Right.
As y'all, I don't know, like just real quick before we even start the class, we got to continue pushing out this truth. I cannot stress how important it is. I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with the news, social media, etc. This is a little off topic, but just to go over that, we've been talking about this for a very, very long time.
Right.
Wars and rumors of wars. Now, when we say wars, don't think like guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare is more like your traditional, you read about the old war stories, like armies going against each other, killing each other, blood all bodies and stuff. Nah. Now, things are a little bit more advanced and tactical now. Like, there doesn't necessarily need to be as much bloodshed to destroy a country. The reason why I'm saying this is because those who do know, it's like a big thing now. They're doing the whole TikTok ban as of January 19th. So far, the CEO of TikTok, I guess, is like talking to Joe Biden and President Trump to see if there can possibly be an extension. Now, I get it. It seems like just, kids app, right? Like, who really cares? Well, the reason why they're doing this, they're telling you it's because, China wants your data. That's what they're really afraid of. No, they're not. They're afraid because there is freedom of speech for the most part on TikTok. It is not a U.S. owned app. It's not like Instagram. It's not like YouTube. It's not like Facebook and the Meta where, they have access to everything. They can monetize. And they can't do that with TikTok. So people are talking to each other. And throughout, I'm going to say the last 4 years that I've been on it, people have been gaining a lot more knowledge of just how corrupt Esau really is. More brothers and sisters are finding out that they are God's chosen people.
Right.
Do the work here in under Commander General Yohana. Like, not even that, even other heathens, even Esau himself. I'm talking about you working class Edomites that think that y'all think y'all not slaves. Y'all slaves too.
Right.
Y'all right here with us. My point is, everything is getting exposed, and now the U.S. government does not like that. He's doing everything that he can to cut all that off. Well, now there's another app that's been out, I guess, for some time. It's a Chinese app. It's called Red Note. Red Note, for the most part, it's pretty much TikTok, but it's Chinese. Now, when I say Chinese, like, no, not everything is in Chinese. Like, they speak English. But what's happening is everybody from TikTok is now flooding Red Note, and they're talking to China. They're talking to, like, the average Chinese citizen, and they're realizing just how different everything else is outside of the U.S. And of course, realizing that the U.S. is lying. These heathens, they got free healthcare.
They do.
They got free healthcare. They got cars. I won't be too long-winded. They got cars that are cheaper than a damn Honda Civic. I seen this thing can drive through water. And then it has tires. Let's say you facing this way, the tires can rotate all the way around, drive sideways, but you still facing this way, and then drive back. Everything is affordable. They don't tax you as much. If you lose your job, and you own your property, guess what? You're fine. Like, you're not homeless. Like, if you lost your job today, let's say you lose your job,
homeless.
Homeless. You can't pay rent, get up out of there. They still have a place to stay. They still got food and water. Corn is like 20 cents. A drink is 50 cents. The reason why I'm bringing all this stuff up is I love it because we've been talking about just how wicked Esau really is. And this is what happens when Esau is in rulership. Now everybody's waking up and seeing what's going on. Now people are revolting. I just wanted to bring that out because everything that all the brothers and the priests and officers and captains and generals have been speaking in this truth about how wicked and evil Esau really is, and why he should not be in rulership and why we should, it's all coming out now. So it took some time.
Right.
It took some time, but give yourself a pat on the back because for those of you brothers who didn't give up, for all you sisters who didn't give up, guess what? It's happening. Don't worry. The concept of time is different with the Most High.
Right.
I know it seems like a long time for us, but it's happening. So we can't stop though. Christ still ain't here. We still ain't got the kingdom yet. We got to keep going. All right. So I just want to get that out the way. You got anything else?
If I may, real quick, if you guys have been keeping up and know where we're going and trying to study pre-hand or notice pre-hand, today we will be going over the 12 tribes chart. Quick backstory: the originator of the 12 tribes chart is I believe Arya. This is from the horse's mouth himself. This is from Commander Juliana, who was there, who knew the brother. He knew him. He said he was the chicken man, so he knew these guys. So anybody say anything about One West, he was there. He was One West, right? Arya worked in construction. He ended up falling down a 3-story building, broke both legs. So for 3 years, he could not walk. He was paralyzed from the waist down. The doctors told him he'd never walk again. Anyway, he ended up walking. So at that point in time, he couldn't get the camp. He couldn't even go up the stairs to get to the school. So at this time, he's just studying. Boom, the Lord hit him with a vision. Now comes the 12 tribes chart, which is crazy because he took it up Albert Bivens. Albert Bivens said, okay, cool, boom. The time that it came out, they did not even have the archaeological evidence that we have today to prove what it is. Now, today, that's why what the scripture say, the earth shall help the woman. Meaning this, the records of the earth will show and prove who the 12 tribes are. It's not going to be too much of a secret anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're gonna bring out some of that today. We gotta run through it really fast. We can't give you a comprehensive breakdown of who everybody is. Well, we're gonna give you a breakdown, but it won't be as comprehensive. There is one that Kevin Cotton's idea. It's like 3.5 hours. We have other classes of us breaking it down. You can find them throughout the school. But so we're gonna run through it as quick as possible. Sorry about time. We had some troubles. But anyway, we're here. But yeah, so Arya found it out. He got the vision, took it up to the school. After that, I believe it was Yahya. I think it was Yahya. He was actually the guy who started who's good with records. So he really started looking up the records, looking up Russian icons, nature knows no color lines, things of that nature. And it just proved everything that Arya said to be correct. And now every fake Israelite school, because that's what they are, every fake Israelite group who has used that chart has got it from One West, the originator of the chart. So I don't know why they don't even use it. You shouldn't even use it. The other people who talk about the 12 tribes of Bantu or them Africans, hey, whatever. None of that proves anything. The truth is, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Latinos, West Indians are the 12 tribes of Israel. We're going to prove it to you quickly today. But if you want a comprehensive breakdown, I would suggest you go look up Captain Katazai's class on Cross the Line. It was down to 4 hours. Good class, good speech. So like with that, we good.
So that being said, Majum, me the brother here.
La Yashala, which means 2 or 4 Israel. Which means to rise and face the east. We'll be going over the prayers in the Hebrew and then in the English. Repeat after me. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanaw, Shabbat Shema, Wadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Balak Waka, Taba'a, Watazaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Washamaya, Mutalanaw, Bakam, Call, Yuwam, Waslaganaw, Kabwafnaw, Hasalagnaw, Kabwafnaw, Wala'a, Tabyalawa, Wanasaya one, Abal, I was shy now. Mayan, Rai, Haya, Baka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapa Araf, La'awalam, Aman.
Now in the English. Our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. This is a cock of power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Baruch Shah, Rapa'a, Kamakala, Kamanawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazram, Hakak, Hakwayam, Amathia, Hakak, Araka Awak, Atama Allah, Garshan, Basham, Yahabashah, the water, Aman.
Now the English.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahabashah,
Please
give us the power.
Give us the power.
Power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To
In the name
of
Yahabashah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
Bless Israel. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahabashah. Barak Lanawa. Wayashala. Baha. Bayah. Saparya. Barak. Ba'ashem. Yahabashah. The water. Amen.
What we just said was, Lord,
in the name of Yahabashah,
bless us
and Israel, and the school, in the name of Yahabashah, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al, Ahoya, Mayan, Yabah, Azariah, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Baratazah, Ayatan, Lamawat, Agarka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Anah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Awyad, Yamika, Yawamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wairak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashmarka, Bakal, Rai, Yashmar, after Pascha, Yahweh, Yashmar, Tazaka, Wawa'aka, Ma'ata, Wa'aid, Aiwala.
Now in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my
help?
help?
From whence cometh my help? My help coming from the Lord,
which made heaven
and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night.
The
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al Dam Yalaka. Al Taka Arash. Wa Al Tashakwat. Al Kayahana. Awaya Salaka. Awaya Salaka. Awaya Yabaka. Yahamayu Ra'ash. Al Aimaka. Yarayamu. Sabada. Wata. Yatazawa. Al Tazawanya. Amara. Lakawa. Walakakino. Bagaya. Wala. Yazakar. Shonya Shala. Awada. Kaya. Nawa Tazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Abika, Barya, Yakarapha, Ahoya, Alawam, Wayashma, Alayam, Mawaba, Wagaryam, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Alashap, Anyashab, Taza War, Gamasha War, Nalawa, Aman, Hayawa, Garawa, Labunya, Lawat, Salas, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasiya, Sarah, Kayabyan, Balakal, Wayashwan, Washamawa, Bayan, Dara, Ayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shatambo, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Kazab, Kazbak, Kazabna, Kal Nasiyakumwa, Ashtar, Amara, Narasha, Lalawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahayam, Shatamwa, Gargala, Kwash, Lapunya, Raka'a, Kaash, Kabaira, Yaira, Wa, Kalaba, Kalahat, Ariam, Khan, Taradakma, Basta Ira, Wabasa, Wapaka,
Wapaka,
Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Palawan, Waya, Bakwash, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashu, Waya, Bahawa, Ayai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahweh, Abadka, Ayuan, Alkal, Ha'aratla.
Psalms 83. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
And
they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Then take crafty counsel
against thy people.
And consulted
against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel maybe no one remembers. But they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Tabernacles of Edom, and Israelites, of Moab, and Agreen, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also was joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a rib, and like Zaid. Yea, all the princes, as Sabbath, and as Amunya, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burns the wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. Make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all earth. Blessings in the Hebrew, Barakatah Yahweh, Why Yahweh Shah, Why Ma'aka Allah, Why Allahayim, Atah Di'ah, Allah Wap Yahala, Hala Wampyam, Hasarunyam, Akwatasanyam, Haka Yanyam, Waha Akwatya, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Wada, Aman.
Now in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And
Yahweh Shah,
and Michael.
And the angels, Commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captain, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it.
Sorry, face me. All right, you may be seated. Okay. All right, if you haven't keeping up with us, so quick recap, going over the book of Genesis. We're actually going to be finishing up. So actually, by next week, we're almost got through Genesis. I know it's been a long ride, but this is why, this is the home of the truth. Right. Because we're not just going to skim over things. You got to deep dive throughout the Bible because there's a lot that you could take from this, right? So again, book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 20. We're going to go all the way to chapter 50, verse 13. We might do like a small recap to get everybody kind of up to speed of where we're at. Priest and Officer Ilatazar is going to be reading in the Hebrew as usual. 49 verses in the Hebrew, 7 verses, and then we give the 7 verses in the English and then the breakdown.
Yes, sir.
And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, 48 and 20.
22. All right. I'm glad y'all rocking with us. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verses 20 through Genesis 49, verse 4. Wabarakam, Bayawam, Hahawa'a, Laomar, Aka, or Ak, Yabarak, Yashala, Laomar, Yashamak, Alahayam, Ka Parium, Wakaman, Wakamasha, Wayasham, Ath, Aparium, Lapunium, Manasha, Wayamar, Yashala, Al Yabasap, Hana, Akanya, so like it. Ana, what is that? Is it Akanya? Anakanya? Anakia. Salakia, y'all. Math, Wahaya, Alahayim, Shamakam, Waha Shayab, Atkam, Al, Yaratazah, Abath Yakam, what 1 year. So like verse 22, 1 year. Naba, not Nathaya, Lakah, Shakam, Akkad, Al, Akayak, Ashar, Lakwakatya, Mayad, Maria, Baharabaya, Waba Kwashathya, chapter 49, verse 1. Waya Kwara Yai Kwab Al Bunyawa, Waya Amar, Ha Sapaya, Sapawa, Wa'agaya, Wa'agada, Lakam, Ath, Ashar, Yakura'ah, Atkam, Ba'akarayath, Haya Mayam, verse 2, Hakwa by Tazar, Washa Ma'aiwa, Bunya, Yaikwab, Washa Ma'aiwa, Al, Yashala, Abayakam, verse 3, Ra'awaban, Ra'awaban, Baka Raya, Atha. This sound like I'm drunk, man. And trust me, I'm not, man. This is crazy. Like, I'm getting tongue-tied today. Good grief. Atha, Kahaya, Wara Ashiyath, Awanya, Yathar, Sha'ath, White Yathar, Isaiah, verse 4, last verse. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna show them what I'm reading too. I'm gonna show them what I'm reading. Pakaz, Kamayum, All, Thar, Kaya, Ayath, Masha Kabya, Abayak, Azah, Kalalath, Yatazar Ira, Ayla. Last verse. Let me show y'all something. I want to show you. Now, can I show it on camera, Bob?
Yeah.
Let me show y'all what I gotta read every week. So y'all don't think I'm crazy. Show me how I look on the camera. Oh, sure.
Yeah. All right, there you go. You can see it now.
Yeah, that's what I gotta read. Look, y'all. Look.
Hey, look. Remember, this was our original native tongue, so we got to get back to it. So I know, look, I'll be honest with you. I know some of y'all watch the class and you're like, what in the hell are they reading? Why it sounds so choppy? Because we're relearning our language, right? Like that's what's going on right now. I know there might be some newcomers. They might be, what is this dude doing?
Right.
Like, trust me, I know, but we gotta practice this. If you don't practice it, we ain't never gonna do it, right? Trust me, when the kingdom come, I mean, I don't even know if English is gonna be a thing by then.
Right.
You know?
And that's Assyrian. That's not even the Paleo. That's Assyrian Hebrew. That is basically just a bastardized version. Yeah. So you gotta know. Okay, you gotta know English. You gotta know. I would say is it onomatopoeia? You have to know the sounds of what the word is or what the letter is. Connect the letters. You don't even know how to, because there's no connectors. So I have to just connect the letters off the top of my head. Yeah, man, it's a lot. So I'm using basically 3 languages in one, trying to do it all at once. That's what it is. So I appreciate it. You just rock with me. Makes me feel appreciated. What we at? 48 and 20. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 20. And he blessed them that day, saying, "In thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh." And he said Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. That extra portion, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. I gotta go find. I gotta call Captain War, Captain Dog. The extra portion is because of his other son. So it went from Joseph, that's supposed to get it. It went to his two sons.
Right.
So I believe that's extra portion.
Right.
Don't quote me, but I'm like 89% sure. That's what it is. That's the extra portion. Chapter 49, verse 1. Mm-hmm. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
So this is very important. We're gonna try our best to go over this as quickly as we can, but just understand this might be a little bit of a lengthy class.
Right.
There's a lot to go over. You go ahead.
Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. I don't even want to gloss over that. Let's listen to it again. He's talking about what's going to happen to you in the last days. Right now, he's telling them, hey, I need y'all to listen. Gather yourselves together and hear. Same thing you hear in Zechariah 2:1. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob. Right? That means all of us. And hearken unto Israel your father. You should be doing that right now. Right now, and gather yourselves together. Nothing in this book is just of old. It's not of old time. He's telling you today. Gather yourselves together. This is the last days he's talking about. I need all y'all to hear this right now.
And if I could,
yes, sir.
When is this being talked about? We still in Genesis. We get into the end of Genesis, but this is all the way in the beginning. Jacob is prophesying to his sons and their descendants, because we are the descendants. This is what's going to happen to you. So this is already pre-recorded, if you will.
Right.
So just stay with us. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power.
Okay, if I could real quick.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to make sure we get through this, right? Who is the tribe of Reuben?
Somebody.
Anybody's free to answer.
And everybody should have, if you knew this was coming, you should already have one just sitting around your house or on your phone. You should have you a 12 tribe chart. Mm-hmm. So you can always put it up, because you will need to defend what you believe in. So you should have all tools available and ready for you at the ready.
Yep. Just people will challenge you.
Michigan State? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans? No.
We've heard it 1,000 times. Y'all have to.
How you gonna tell me a West Indian is an Israelite, but African is? That makes no sense to me. So-called Cuban. No, ma'am.
Not the Cubans, but I'm glad somebody answered though. It's not Cubans.
We like the participation.
Yeah, this is class. Don't feel embarrassed. Like
the Cubans would be Manasseh.
Mm-hmm. Who is the tribe of Reuben? Somebody. I know there was some priest up in here too. Y'all better know this stuff. I'm gonna call you out.
Let's hope they're in here. Let's hope they didn't just log in and log back out.
The Seminole. Yep.
Seminole
Indians. Yep. Those are Seminole Indians. And Reuben in the Hebrew means behold a son, because he was the firstborn. Just so everybody understands. But,
okay. So look, Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might. Every child, your firstborn son that's your firstborn. This is the fruit of your loins. You like, everything I got, I'm gonna pass to my firstborn. Why? Because he's supposed to be the reflection of me. When I'm not around, he is the father. The water, sir. He is the father. When I'm not around, my firstborn son is gonna tell you, he's gonna tell you what to do. Why? Because he's a reflection of me. He's gonna tell you exactly what I would tell you. Why? Because I've trained him to. So my firstborn, that's my might. And the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water. Meaning what? Once you know about the Seminole Indians and their characteristics, man, they travel. They travel up and down. Why do you think they won so many wars against the cavalry? Why do you think they were so they were so what's the word? They were so powerful. They were so scary because they could get through swamps like nobody else could. They could travel from here to there like nobody else could. They knew the land. They knew the map. When you go, Florida man is a real thing.
No, for real.
That's a real thing. Like only them people know how to move around like that. That is a similar Indian characteristic. This man traveled and was slaughtering. If you think about when you read about the history of the Native Americans, Reuben, similar Indians were the only ones who did not even what's the word? They didn't even go into the slave trade. Like Gad, they would pay off Gad, and Gad probably put some of us in slavery. Reuben would never do that. Reuben never did that. Reuben was the ones that helped us. They did more help than anybody else. But not only Reuben did, Gad did as well. Not only the Gad did, Isupk did as well. A lot of us, we was in slavery and captivity. Guess who married us so we can get out of there? Guess who led us another way so we can get from captivity? Our brothers that you don't know nothing about.
That's if I could real quick. Reuben and Gad. Shit. I'm so mad.
Black Indian?
Yeah, Black Indian. Yeah. Those who are familiar, that's a very good book, by the way. It teaches a lot of history of just the Native Indigenous tribes in general, and also Seminole Indians. It was actually stated numerous times that at this time, like Judah was there, Gad and Reuben, and Gad and Reuben, of course, was assisting Judah escape slavery. So it was so bad, and like the colonizers were losing so bad, they realized, hey, we cannot allow for them to be together. We have to split them up.
Right.
That's what they did. They said, because what we were doing is, again, it's in our nature. We didn't even know we was Israelites then, but we saw Gad saw Judah saw Seminole Indians, and was like, you know what? And we got to stick together. They wasn't trying to have that. So again, divide and conquer. And then they started making deals with some Gadites, not all, but some Gadites, to turn against Judah, turn Judah against Gad and Reuben, Buffalo Soldiers. Buffalo Soldiers. This was a group of black men who served under the white man's military, and they used them to raid throughout Native Indigenous lands. But why did they do that? I'm gonna be real with you, self-hate, and they wanted acceptance from the slave masters. So they served their slave masters and turned their backs on their own Akim, and they caused war. You know, when you hear about like Gadites, they own some Judites as slaves.
Right.
That's because Esau started trying to divide and conquer, and sadly, he was affected.
It happened.
That's what happened. Before there was a white man involved, we wasn't doing none of that. So I just want to give you perspective.
If I may, it was a book I had. I didn't get I wanted to upload the pictures and stuff, but I just have not had time. That's on me. No excuses. Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Page 363 to 365. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I made sure I copied it and took the pictures and whatnot. So when they came across, right, it was I forget who it was. Was it Montecito? It was some devil came over here, and he had a I guess you could just say a Hebrew translator. So when they pull up, it was Montecito. So I'm gonna read this passage to you. Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montezino, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema Yisrael Adunya Alahunya Adunya Ahud, which is the Hebrew, I guess you could say it's our creed. Shema Yashala Yahweh Alahayanawa Yahweh Akkad, which means hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. That's Deuteronomy 6 and 4. So imagine pulling up on the people you know nothing about, and then they say this. The only people on the planet Earth who said that is Israelites. So as soon as he gets to the island, as soon as he gets to Americas, that's what they're saying. They also told him, this also proves about the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans. They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben, and that the tribe of Joseph, which would be Manasseh, which would be Ephraim, that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby. What's nearby Florida? Puerto Rico and Cuba. Yep. If I may, only the sorcerers of his tribe had perceived that they were a special people and had given warning that they should be left alone. The God of these children of Israel is the true God, they had said, and everything inscribed on their tablets is true. At the end of days, They will be lords of all the nations of the earth. One nation will come bringing many things to this land. And after we have all been provided for, these children of Israel will go forth from where they now are and reign over the whole earth as they once did. This is what a devil is hearing, or this is what an oppressor, I should say, is hearing the first time he pulls up to this land. He pulls up to South Florida, and the first thing they tell you is the Hebrew language. First thing they tell you, first thing out their mouth. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God, or one Lord. Shema Yahshua how you not with your cut. That's the first thing he hears. So who else could these people be? They have to be Israelites. Boom. Where we at? The end of 4.
Go
4?
Yeah, 4.
Verse 4. Unstable as water. And again, we can't give you the whole breakdown because we got to run through this because it's still a class and we got a time limit. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, and then defiledest thou it. He went up to my couch.
So if I could real quick,
Yes,
I believe it's 35 and 22. Genesis 35 and 22.
Oh yeah, when he concubine.
Yeah, just to give you perspective of the nature and the cause of like each tribe's sin. So we just want to run through this real quick.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 35, verse 22. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in that land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12.
So let's see, let's go back to 4. So when it says unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, meaning what? This is the firstborn. We it's kind of same thing, like it's kind of like a trend. Same thing with Jacob. Again, Jacob was not the firstborn. Esau was the firstborn. So usually you give your inheritance to the eldest son most of the time. However, there's been multiple accounts in the Bible where the eldest son either has done something wrong, or maybe the youngest brother was a little bit more righteous.
Right.
So in this instance, Reuben, Judah is the forefront of Israel.
Right.
Originally, it was supposed to be Reuben, but because of what Reuben did, he lost that.
Right.
So when it says, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, this is what this is talking about. He slept with his father's wife. The concubine is still a wife. It's just a different term. But yeah, that's why he lost his power. Or the power that he was supposed to have.
Right. Instead of the firstborn gaining the power or being in the position of Judah now, Reuben was supposed to be that dude.
Yeah.
Reuben sin, did a big sin. It got passed all the way down. You're gonna see the sins of the other brothers too, and which is why it just led to Judah. Let's go back to the Hebrew. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 5 through 12. 11. Shammai, Shammai 1, Wala Wayub, Achayam, Kalya, Kamas, Makarat Yahum, verse 6, Basadum, Al, Taba'a, Napashia, Bakwa Lahum, Halam, Al, Thakai, Kabadya, Kaya, Ba'apun, Ba'apama, Haragawa, Ayash, Wabar Tazanum, Ikwawa, Shawar, verse 7, I reward upon Kaya, Isaiah, why Barathum, Kaya, Kwashata, Akhalaquam, Baya Iqua, why Punyatazum, Baya Shala, verse 8, Yahawada, Atha, Yahweh Dawak, Akayak, Yadak, Ba'arataza, like Ba'arataza, Haya Badyak, Yasha, the Wawa, Laka, Banya, Abayak, verse 9. Gawar, Arayah, Yahawada, Tazar, Banyub, Aliyah, Kara'ai, Baratazar, Salaki, Rabatazar, Ka'a Raya, Wakal, Baya'a, Maya, Yakwa, Yamanwa, verse 10, La'a, Yawawar, it's like La'a, Yasawar, Shabbat, Maya Wada, Maya Salaki, Maya Ha Wada, Wama Kakwa, Mabayan, Regalia Wub, Aid, Kaya, Yaba'a, Shaya Salaki, Shayala, Shayalawa, Walawa, Yaikwa Hath, Imayam, verse 11, Asariah, Lapa, Lagapon, Ayara'a, Ayarawa, Walash, Raikwa, Banya, Atanwa, Kabasa, Bayayan, Labashawa, Labashwa, Wabadum, Aina Bayum, Sawatha, Sawatwa. Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 5 through 11. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
If I could, I'm gonna ask y'all too every time. Who is Simeon and Levi? Y'all in the school, like remember it's class, so we won't ask y'all. We're going through a more accelerated version of the breakdown of the 12 tribes, but we just want y'all to understand like who we're talking about. So who is Simeon? Who is Levi?
I always so much.
Come on, y'all. Who is Simeon? Who is Levi? Levi, the Haitians. Yep. Okay, who's Simeon?
Put like this. They live right next door to each other.
Yeah, same island. Puerto Ricans, no. Dominicans. Yep, there you go. All right, so yep. Haitians and Dominicans. So just to give a brief description of them. So Simeon in the Hebrew means to hear or hearing. Levi means joined onto.
Right.
And we're gonna just real quick. Genesis 29 and 33. Just real quick. Let's see why they were named these names.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 33. And she conceived again and bare a son and said, because the Lord have heard I was hated, he have therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
Hence why heard, because the Lord heard Slakia. Leah. I think it was Rachel, Leah conceived and bare. Yep, this is Leah. So I remember, just recap, remember Leah was not favored. Rachel was the one that was favored. So what the Lord did was he closed up Rachel's womb so that Leah was the only one that was able to bear children because he saw what was going on. It was unfair. So he heard her prayers and saw that she was hated. So in comes Simeon. Let's go to verse 34 real quick.
Verse 34, and she conceived again and bare a son and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
And where it says, will my husband be joined unto me, again, joined unto Levi. So just so you get a grasp of why each tribe is named what they are. So we can continue.
Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Everybody knows what these instruments of cruelty are. these are the most. When you think about Haitians, the first thing you think about, even people down in Dominican, first thing you think about is voodoo. Even think about, it's so much unalive going on in these countries. It's unbelievable. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. There's a city that everybody knows is New Orleans. I don't even call New Orleans a city of America. To me, it's the most northernest West Indian city. That's what I think it is. Ain't nothing but a bunch of Levites down there. Let me tell you, it is the #1 unaliving capital year in and year out.
Levi don't play. Like,
do not play.
Like when you read the Bible and you see what Levi, if I could real quick, they were the first priests. Like there was a time where only Levi were allowed to be priests. Right. Let me tell you something about Levi. Levi has like a special kind of like, have y'all seen Haitians? They got like a type of intensity about them. That's just like their come off. They do not play. Whatever they believe in, they don't play.
That's what it is. No, that's what it is. If you don't know them brothers, I would be weary of them brothers. Yeah, I just you would be so weird when you, and especially when you really start to look at the history of them people. You like, you do dangerous. They're the only ones walking around with machetes. They're the only ones who won. Only ones out of all everybody else was enslaved. These people had a revolution, which is crazy. That is called a revolution. You put me in slavery. This is my land. No, really. Why is it a revolution when I'm doing it? I'm just trying to get my stuff back. Yeah, they did it. It got to the point where these brothers, they didn't unalive all their oppressors, right? They didn't even want us to know up here. Oh, yeah. Because if we would have known, what would we have done? We would have did what they did. But that goes into, if I may, oh my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly mine honor. When you think about, right, we cannot defeat the oppressor without the Lord. I'm gonna explain to you why really quickly. Let's say the Levites end up just, their land became great. DR became great. It was not a third world country anymore. It became great. What would all of us believe in? We would believe in voodoo. We believe in what they believe in to have them such a great country. Think about being a Muslim. If being a Muslim worked, if that stuff worked, what would all of us be? Would be Muslims. The Lord wants you to know it don't matter what you do, it's not going to work, because I need you to trust in me. I need you to believe in me. The Lord is the only one who's going to get us through this stuff, right?
And if I could, real quick, that's why the Haitians are still fighting to this day. Like, you don't hear too much about it now, but like they're like, that's a war zone over there.
Literally,
like it's a war zone. Just in the nature of so-called Haitians. When I say they don't play, I think it was, I don't know if it was like their government center or whoever. I forgot his name, but he fled to Puerto Rico because the Haitians of the island were upset that he was making deals with the United States. Because let's be real, the United States has a history of going into other countries and raiding them of their supplies and their resources, which is exactly what they were trying to do to Haiti, and they're still trying to do it to Haiti. The French are still, the French still has ties to Haiti. That's why Haiti's so poor. People like to make fun of Haiti, like, oh, there's a whole bunch of poor island black people. The reason why they're poor is because they're still oppressed. Right. Like you said, and I'm glad you brought this out. They won their war. Right. But they're still oppressed. People still hate them. Like, they live on the same island, and we're going to get into it real quick. Simeon. Right. Simeon, so-called Dominicans, y'all on the same island of Hispaniola, and they hate each other.
That's in here.
But why do they hate each other, though? Because they too damn good together. So guess what? They got split up.
Right. If I may, oh my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Their assembly is what, that one island. But listen to this next part, right? Be not thou united. That's it. That right there is letting you know they on the same exact island. The same exact island. One speaks Spanish, the other speaks French. Yep. They hate each other. Yep. Look the same. No issues. And out here beefing with one. You on the same island with these people, surrounded by beautiful water, and you got a wall separating you, and you got trenches separating you for no reason, because you hate each other. That's the Lord. The Lord did not want them to come together, because He know how if they did come together, they would do what they did. If I keep reading, be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, right? And in their self-will they dig down a wall. This is pertaining to, was it Dina? I think it was Dina. Joseph, not Joseph. Israel's daughter. She ended up getting sexually assaulted by the Hamite, which is crazy because we had made a deal with them. And the deal that we made, this is the wall that he's talking about. We made a deal with them, and out of their self-will, out of their anger, they unalived every Hamite, just them two. It was that simple.
They are that dangerous.
Oh.
But again, same thing, divide and conquer, right?
Right.
Esau knew, like, hey, I got to split them up.
Right.
Like, these two, they're a problem. Same thing they did with Reuben, Judah, and Gad. They had to definitely make sure that they got split up, but this was prophesied.
Right.
This was going to happen because when they got together, you kind of like can't stop them.
Right.
They go unchecked. Lord didn't like that.
Right.
So,
verse 7, cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Going to the point of Levi not being given a inheritance of land. Everybody else has inheritance of land, not Levi. This is why Levi is so tough. They are the police. If they came through and you was eating pork, you was getting your head chopped off.
oh, yeah.
They with a machete. They would come around and slicing your head off. They are the police. The Lord say, man, you know, y'all so good, but y'all crazy hell. I'm just gonna make y'all the police. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna give you no land. I'm gonna scatter you amongst all of Israel. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah. But you see, like we're going over like the nature of each tribe. The nature of each tribe is biblical.
Right.
I need y'all to understand that. So we're going over it right now.
Yeah. And if I may, it's all about genetics as well. Everything. Do you know why there are different breeds of dogs? Does anybody know why? Please answer that question. Why are there different breeds of dogs? Very simple answer. If I tell it to you, you'd be like, oh, duh.
Yeah. It's a pretty
very simple.
I know where you're going.
Why is there different breeds of dogs? For time's sake, because of the breeder. Because the breeder wanted a different breed of dog. He wanted this dog to be able to do sheep. He wanted this dog to be different jobs. Throw out, sir. Of course you know. Of course he knows. But yeah, different dogs give you different jobs. Different people give you different things that you need, different qualities. A Judite is nothing like Isupk. This thing Isukrites do, I was like, I would never.
That's why in the Bible, if I could real quick, it says that Israel is on like a speckled bird.
Right.
A speckled bird got many different colors and spots and stuff. Because Israel, we not all supposed to be the same. Like we all one nation. Don't get me wrong, but we're not supposed to be the same. We're not supposed to be. Because think about it, is excellent point. If I could real quick, you need different. Can you get that precept for me?
Yeah,
like the wolves and the sheep.
I asked that thing. The abilities, different skills. It's in the New Testament.
Yeah, it's, bringing in the war. You know what I'm talking
about. Where is it at? No, about a bit. This is the one that give you like different abilities. Like one brother's good at this, another brother's good at that. Oh, where is that at? Can somebody find it?
It's like if somebody gets it, that'd be great. Just for time's sake. Again, how can I put it like this? Okay, listen, you got a company, you got a team, or whatever it is. Like you got a team. Everybody can't play the same freaking role.
Right.
Some of y'all are faster. Some of y'all are better leaders. Some of you are stronger. Some of you are bigger. Some of you better at defense. Some of you better at offense. Some of you have better self-awareness. Some of you got better dexterity. Whatever it may be, the Lord needed to make 12 tribes, all one nation, but with a different set of skills. That's how we all come together. That's why we're so strong together, because what this tribe might not be good at, this tribe is.
Right.
And what this tribe's not good at, this one is. It all just blends together, right? But that's why Esau splits us up so much, because we can't come together. That'd be the end of him today if we all came together and used all of our different skills and applied it. It's like,
think about all the inventions black people made. Think about who really built it. It's cool. Think about a lot of stuff that you might make. Think about a car. You know the best mechanics in the world? I promise you, any tire shop in America, if it ain't no Mexicans, I don't want to even go over there. Yes, Deuteronomy 33, that is a great, well, it's not, the question we was looking for is not in Deuteronomy 33. That's another, okay, so Deuteronomy 33 is another great breakdown that you can get into for the last days and the qualities of the 12 tribes of Israel. For time's sake, man, I can't really go into Deuteronomy 33 like I want to. Some tribes I might just bring it out really quickly just to prove some things, like Naphtali and Asher. I might just go up in there really quickly just to kind of prove some stuff. But yeah, Deuteronomy 33 is great. It's excellent. If you want to add on to your knowledge on why these tribes have these skills, these abilities. The Lord does not give everybody the same ability. Just like we in the school, everybody does not have the same what department. You have a Shamar department. You have people for security. There you go. There's certain brothers who is just, yeah, that brother needs to be on security because he got a watchful eye. And he got certain brothers, Sabbath service. It's something about how we perceive things, how we both look at something. Like, yeah, that's a Sabbath. You can kind of tell that's a Sabbath service brother. Oh, that brother right there. Oh yeah, we need him for other things. Everybody's not going to be a teacher. Everybody's not going to be sitting on this seat on Thursdays breaking down scriptures. Everybody's not going to be that, but everybody has a skill, and you shouldn't be mad at another brother because you think he should know a breakdown because of whatever. Yeah, that don't make no sense in here. That's a slight to somebody, but anyway. The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
If I could, yes, I'm gonna let you have this. But I ain't gonna go over with the tribe of Judah. Y'all should all know who Judah. Right. All right. I was about to bring up Judah. In the Hebrew, Yahweh actually means God's praise. Just like so you understand, and it says it right there. Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. So thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Meaning what? When you look around and you see the 12 tribes of Israel and Judah's up here, mainly Judah's up here, right? We are in the neck of everything here. Meaning we're at the top, we're in the head. Sports. We're including everything. $1 billion companies, there's a Judite in there. You understand me? $1 million companies, there's a Judite in there. Politics, there's Judites in there. We got to the point where instead of us fighting against the system, we started to join the system. Like in the 60s and 70s, we was all about revolution. After a while, we just got so tired of it. We're gonna get into that like a roaring lion. We got so tired of it. We just started to integrate ourselves in here, involve ourselves in here. Instead of really going for change, we started to integrate into this. This is how we in the neck of them. For any tribe that come up here, the reason why you are gifted benefits is because Judites. This is what we did. Hey man, no justice, no peace. We EBTs, stuff like that. When you start to really think about how you can help somebody from who's never been anywhere in their life and come to America, you are benefiting because Judites fought for it. You are benefiting because Judites, they are in the neck of their enemies. Wherever the head go, the neck got to turn with it. Wherever the neck go, the head got to turn with it. Judites are in everything involved. Now, here's the problem why we say our Gates language. Because we have so many people that could be great leaders, because of their wanting to fit into the society and help themselves out and be in the neck of the enemy, not even realizing it's their enemy. Because of that, our Gates have language and we become weak. Now imagine all the leadership we did have. Imagine if they was on the right-hand side of God. Imagine what we would do in righteousness. Then you come into One West and then you find those men. Hey, it's leaders in here. And these walls and these gates will not languish. It's like it. Verse 8, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, that art going up. Meaning he was ready. Imagine a young lion, man, ready to go to war. I just brought this out. Ready to go to war, ready to get at you. At any time, you even know Judites to this day. What you say? Like it's just in you. Any slight disrespect, you just ready, right? But then you get a little older, right? You get a little passive. He stooped down. He couched as a lion.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him out? The Lord's going to rouse him up. Man, we became an old lion. We just got tired of fighting. Imagine you just been fighting for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You like, bro, I ain't.
If I could, real quick, have y'all ever like seen like an old lion?
Right.
Like an actual old lion? I remember I watched, I don't know if it was Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, whatever. But anyway, I don't know if y'all understand. Like, okay, so just quick backstory, like how lions and prides work. So obviously you have the alpha, lions.
Right.
Usually a male lion. Sometimes, depending on how big the pride is, there might be two. They're usually brothers.
Right.
But it's usually the male, and there's a whole bunch of lionesses. And obviously, those are all his women, if you will. Well, what ends up happening is a few things might happen, actually. I'll say one or two things. Either another male lion will contest that male lion. Like, hey, like, I want this pride.
Right.
So now he got to fight back. Like, nah, this me and my lionesses and my cubs. You ain't taking this. So you want to fight him off. Because that's what a lion does. You stand in your ground, right? You a roaring lion. That's Judah. But then there are times where lions, they get older. You're not as fast. You're not as ferocious as you used to be.
Right.
Now here comes this other younger, stronger lion. He comes in. You can't fight him. So you know what happens to that lion? He gets exiled. And now you have this lone old male lion.
Right.
He can't hunt the way he used to. I seen one. It was like I feel like his teeth withered down. He couldn't chew right. He's like weak. He's weak. But you were once this great thing. That's sadly what started to happen to Judah. And you made a very excellent point. Judah has always been in the forefront, but sadly Esau, like you say, you get tired of fighting, man.
Dude.
So it's like, all right, look, can't beat him. Might as well figure out a way to
make it easier.
Yeah, make it easier. So now it's like, you right, like you see Judites on screen, like all these celebrities, business owners, and they just got a certain kind of like charisma about them. And you looking at them like, man, you make great. Like I know like being in the military, you be having like certain like people above you, and they, you be like, man, this dude be a good ass leader, man. But then it's like, why are you working to a white man,
right?
Though? And then it's like, as soon as you start challenging that spirit, it just kind of they get meek,
right?
That's what happened.
Think about better housing, better food choices, better schooling. Blacks was in the front. They were in the forefront for all of that. Man, sit-ins, marches, man, and walk miles. Them dudes, what it was? The Million Man March, not the Million Man March. The one with was it the I Have a Dream speech? I think it was the I Have a Dream speech.
I think so.
Did they go to DC?
Yeah.
So a lot of brothers travel from Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, walked thousands of miles, got to DC because they figured we're gonna go up here and we're promised better jobs and things. Yeah, none of that happened. And you know what happened? Black people just stayed in DC. That's why DC really became chocolate city. All those people from the South just flooded and went to DC. But why did they do that? Because they were fighting for something. They got up there, they're like, I can't go back now, son. I'm tired. I'm here. I'm here now. Yep. That is the black people at this point. Well, not anymore, because now black men are raising up. But it got to the point where like, I'm tired. I'm gonna just get this job. I'm gonna come in and say yes, sir, no, sir. Everybody settle. And what does that do? What does that do for your people? That leads to lack of leadership because now they know they done tired you out, they done beat you up. Oh, this an old line, man. He don't want to fight no more. Literally. He ain't got it in him. Yeah. And now because this is why you can blame the old generation, right? People always say it's something wrong with this new generation. Well, we're misled. We're not taught to fight for anything. So what do? We go out and go get anything we can get by any means necessary. Because you're not fighting for nothing. You're not helping us with nothing. You're not telling us nothing. So now think about religion. Religion is a slave religion. Christianity is a slave religion. You think I'm gonna have some slave tell me about God? No, for real. Come on, that is such a docile thing. That's another thing that made us weak. It made us weak through philosophy. Man, look, man, a brother got so many books because he's trying to educate himself. He never finds himself true. Black man, America, you find them black dudes that like, this brother's smart. He's smart, but he ain't smart. He's not wise when it comes to God law. He's only wise when it comes to the philosophies he learned from Esau. It makes him docile. It makes him weak. He can know all all the books, all the words in the world, he'll still never be able to get you out of the condition you're in. No man shall save him, no man shall buy him. Who shall rouse him up? One West, 1969, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, started by the Lord. That's who's going to rouse him up. Now you see all these black men who wouldn't be doing nothing. Now you see them doing something. Now you see them stop Christianity. Now you see them going against Muslims. We battle Christians. We battle Muslims. We do that. But Judah, before One West, before Isupk, they settled. They settled because that's what we did. They just settled us down. Like if I may. Verse 10: the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. That's Christ. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Yes, sir.
Just saying, like, okay, when it says the scepter shall not depart from Judah, meaning, okay, remember how Reuben was the oldest, and he lost his power. Right. Judah is not supposed to lose his power. Judah is still supposed to be in the front. Like, you still that line. I know, like, you probably done got your nails clipped or whatever. I don't know what you want to do with that, but like, you still a line at the end of the day. That's what you're supposed to be. That's what God intended you to be.
Right.
Not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come in. Unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Meaning what? Who started getting the 12 tribes together?
Right.
It was Judah. What tribe is Christ? Judah. The most righteous man ever to have ever lived was Judah. Most of our kings, the good ones at least, most of them, Judites. That's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be in the front. So even now, yeah, you might be withered and tired and you that old beat lion. Guess what? You still gotta man up at some point.
Right.
You ain't getting off easy. Christ ain't get off easy. He had to die for us.
Right.
So that's what you gotta be. Go ahead.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. That's in the spirit of what he just said. Judah's gonna be rising up first. Judah is the one that's gonna get all the tribes together. You like, damn, some of the Judites, like, of course. That's how it's supposed to be. It's what it is. I didn't choose this. I'm out there. But no, and again, and never think like this. Never get to thinking, oh, we the head tribe, so we better. That's not what he's saying. Of course, we're raised first because our king comes out of Judah. But that don't make you better than another tribe because Benjamin was the youngest. Yeah, Benjamin was youngest. That don't make you better than the Benjamin. That don't make you better than Ephraim. Dude, we all one tribe. We all one nation, one family. Yeah, we just different tribes of people. I act a certain way. He act a certain way. It's funny. It's funny speaking about this brother because he is a Benjamin. If you didn't know, right? We used to tell him something. I don't know if you do. Yeah. We really like, I don't know what to do with you. And it's nothing against him. Like he looked just like a Jew. Like, but it was like, I don't know, man. And then come to find out years later, this brother's a Benjamin, right? And we just bust out laughing when we found out because just a characteristic of this man, and you know him personally, like he's something different. You know, like think about yeah.
All jokes aside, because like you like you just being in the school, man. I only knew like the Caribbean side came from my mom, but of course we go by my father. I knew like my dad black. Right. And then out of nowhere, like just a quick story. I'm my aunt and my cousin came down, and it's we talking and stuff, just catching up. I'm like, how old was I? Like 27, 28 years old. Yeah. And my entire life, because for the most part, like that side of my family is still pretty close. She tells me like, oh, you're Jamaican, right? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? Never heard this in my entire life. Then I'm finding out my great grandfather came from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm like, well, thanks, y'all. I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, we Jamaican? He's like, well, I mean, my dad watched it. He said, well, my grandfather, I know it was rumored that he was from Jamaica. And I'm like, so we Jamaican. He's like, well, I mean, yeah. I'm like, thanks, I guess, for telling me 28 years later. That's I didn't know. But going off what the brother said, it's like, okay, like, makes sense.
It's the characteristics. It's you just know, brother. Like, man, you can see certain brothers. It's funny. Even like, because my old lady, she used to call. It's a spot we used to go to after eat. Was it El Salvador. What's Salvador? I gotta look it up. And we'll go out there and eat. Don't they right next door to Ecuador? Or is it Ecuador or Salvador? One of the two. Don't they one of them next door to Mexico? I forget. I gotta look.
It might.
This is
Salvador is a little far.
So
It's still like a part of Central.
Is it Ecuador? I don't know.
It's one.
Anyway, we used to go to this place. We used to go eat, and I could see the difference. I could not face wise, but after a while, you start to notice the difference in because we got cool with the people that work there. Like, man, they are different. The sisters are a little different. The brothers are a little different than the brothers that I know that's straight Isupk. Because you would think that they are all the same, and it's just small characteristics that the Lord's put into them through genetics to make them a certain way. All kind of nice people, but you can just tell the differences of people. This is what it is. If I may, Judah's line up, verse 10, verse 11. Binding his foal unto the vine, and as his coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Who is that talking about? In specific, who is that talking about? This should be anybody. So we really got to run through this. Oh, that's the last. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, what time is it?
Well, for time's sake, I'll give it to you. It's top of my house.
Can we just do this in English?
This one do Hebrew after that.
It's like y'all time. I knew she knew, but I want to know everything. Mm-hmm. Hey, be like her. All these sisters be just like what I want to. Be just like her. Be just like her. Mm-hmm. Whatever you, when next time you see her or some event, just question her down. So like you says, I don't want to put you out there like that, but question her down. Just ask her a bunch of questions. Ask her how she maneuver. Ask her what did she do for us. This school would not be what it was without this sister. Mm-hmm. It would not be what it was, man. Man, lady, give us everything we need. You don't even have to ask her, and she just pull up. She just pull up with stuff. Every event she had, look, I ain't gotta worry about nothing because I know she's pulling up with water. She's pulling up with sodas. She's pulling up with beer. Pulling up with food. That is what she does. You should strive to be like that. Mm-hmm. Verse 12. Genesis 49, verse 12 in the Hebrew. Hakal Layala Ayanyam Mayanyan Walabun Shanyam Machala, verse 13. Zabalawan Lakawa Tazah Yamayum Yum Yashikam Wahawa Lakawa Tazah Anyath Wayo Rakatwa Al Taza Yadun, verse 14. Yashikar Hamar Garam Rabatazah, Rabatazah, excuse me. Banyam Banyan Hama Hamash Patyam, verse 15. Waira'a Maba Ka'a Kayub Tawab Wa'ath Ha'aratazah Kaya Na'ima Wayat Shakamwa Lasa Baal Wayahaya Lamas Ibad, verse 16. Dan Yada Yun Imawa Ka'a Shabbataya Yashala, verse 17. Yahaya Dan Nakash Alya Darak Shapa Yapan Al Yub Awaka Hana Shak Ipa Iquabia Sawasa Wasapal Rakabwa Ikawar verse 18. Last verse is the last verse. Yeah. Laya Shawa Aithak Kwawayub Tayub Yahweh. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 12. 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
So for time's sake, I won't ask about to tell you. Tribe of Zebulun will be so-called South Floridians. Their name means exalted, or he is exalted,
right?
Which I believe exalted is someone who is of like high status,
right? Guatemala to Panama, haven of the sea. You got to think about the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is the most used. It's the most used canal ever. The reason why, it's the only thing that connects the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. So I believe maybe 13 or 14,000 ships per year stops at the Panama Canal. That is how you get a lot of your exported goods to America, and how to get a lot of imported. Well, is it import export? Oh, our imported goods that comes from other places, we get them there. The goods that we export, it goes to Panama Canal, then it goes to somewhere else. You got to understand. Matter of fact, when it says the his border shall be unto Zidon. Zidon was a Hamitic nation, but Tyre and Zidon, if you hear about it in the Bible dictionary, they were kind of like that too. So where you went to, and that you would do a lot of shipping there. A lot of shipping would be done in Zidon. You can just look it up in your Bible dictionary. So it's no different. Even when you look at a map, I believe there was near water too. When you break down the map of Israel. So these brothers, they've always been like this. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. I believe also in Panama, it's like abundance of fish and trees. And,
I think so.
Abundance of fish, trees, and butterflies, I believe. It's like rich of the sea. If you go over there, the fact that, and you got to think about this again, right? When this was coming out, and when the Lord gave this vision to Ariel, they not knowing this stuff. They not seeing, they not even paying attention to this stuff. Only through years of traveling and brothers reading books and being historians and being studious that you find out that every prophecy that Jacob laid down, Israel laid down, came to fruition in the future.
Yep. If I could real quick, actually, Panama is known for its abundance of natural resources, biodiversity, and water resources, and it's exponentially water rich with abundant rivers and rainfall, making it one of the world's most water rich countries.
Oh my, come on!
So y'all see it, right? Like, if I could real quick, like, I just want to take a second. Like, people ask, like, oh, how did you come about the 12 tribes? Somebody got ignorant one time because I was like, Puerto Ricans are the tribe of Ephraim, and it's like, show me where it says Puerto Rico in the Bible. You know damn well the concept of Puerto Rico. I don't even think Spanish was a language at this freaking point. Like, just the ignorance behind it. Like, we didn't just make this up, y'all. Like, we're really trying to get good. We're kind of breezing through it, but this is how the 12 tribes were made. It's describing each and every single tribe, all the way down from you go earlier in Genesis, and it's already been not predicted, Salakia, but prophesied that Abraham's seed is going to go into 400 years of bondage.
Right.
Like, y'all like to think like, oh, the Israelis or the so-called Jewish men, they're the true biblical Israelites. Their history literally does not fit this in any way whatsoever. You want to know what Israel, like the Israelis, are doing right now? They're bombing people. That's God's chosen people. They're making deals with Esau. Like, real Israelites ain't doing no crap like
Come on,
that.
man.
I just want to put that out there. This you reading it right here. All right. This is in the Bible. I just found that out about Panama. I actually didn't even know that. I found out.
Look at it. Today, you're still finding out new
Still
stuff.
learning stuff.
What are we talking about?
You know?
Verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute.
So if I could,
yes, sir.
Issachar or Yashakar means he is hired
in
the Bible. So come on, man.
Anybody
who's been on the West Coast, Midwest, you know how Issachar get down. Issachar is one of the most hardworking like tribes in the nation, especially when it comes physically. Like whatever it is that you need to get done, they get it done. Now I want to focus right here where it says, and he saw that rest was good in the land, that it was pleasant, which of course Mexicans, before being called Mexicans and stuff like that, they are also of indigenous roots.
Right.
And it says, and bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant unto tribute. Again, Issachar, again, one of the most hardworking tribes, also has, just like every other tribe, a flaw.
Right.
And that flaw is especially when Esau is in charge, they come into this country and they'll work their ass off, but they'll work for cheap. And Esau knows this. Esau knows, like, oh, you know what? I'm not about to hire all these loudmouth black people, who always complain about some stuff. Black people already, like, Judites, y'all already been through the water. Y'all already.
If I may,
go ahead.
Black people, it's a meme. We're like, black people, the only people gonna show up to work and tell you what they're not gonna do. No, that is me. I'm like, hey, I ain't doing that today. Even though I signed up to do this job, I ain't doing that today.
But you see the spirit behind it, though, right? It's the car not really like that. I haven't met too many Issacharites.
They gonna work.
Yeah, they gonna work. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I be at my slave and I be looking around. I'm like, man, like, this is I don't want to say something else, but this is some BS.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Issachar will sit there right with me and be like, yeah, this is some BS. Yeah, we gotta change out this.
That is crazy.
Like, what the hell? Like, what is wrong with you? But I'm like, it's like, y'all work. Like, that's what y'all do. But again, your work ethic is being abused.
Right.
Because again, we're not in charge. Esau in charge. So he's gonna see, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get all these hard working Mexicans. They're gonna work for me, and I'm gonna make them work for cheap, and you're gonna be a servant. And where it says right here, and became a servant unto tribute.
It's funny because the job I work at is a bunch of Hispanics ain't getting paid nearly what they're supposed to be getting paid. And I see them, they be coming in there so tired. I be like, what the ass? Boy, I'm like, man, good for you. All they do is go buy some beer and go back and do it the next day. I'm like, how do you do this, man?
I'm miserable.
I'm miserable. I'm like, I can't work the job too long because I'm gonna quit. He's gonna work there for 20, 30 years. But that goes to the characteristic of an Issacharite. Think about when you say strong ass couching down between two burdens. It's a book, but I mean you can go look it up right now. You can look it up right now. The symbol of Mexicans, you're gonna find a donkey.
Yeah.
You got to think, going back to your point when somebody said, where are you gonna find Puerto Rico in the Bible? Okay, even every Christian knows that Babylon is America.
Yes.
All Christians know that New Babylon is America. So, but it don't say America.
Exactly. How you know America's Babylon?
Characteristics.
Come on.
Why do you think we know anything? Through characteristics. Why do you think we know who these people are? Through characteristics. Ass crouching down between two burdens, between North America and Central America. They crouching down. Think about the land of Mexico and say that he saw that the land was pleasant. Mexico was a beautiful country to the point where that's why white people go there and go tear it up every chance they get because they want to use it as a tourist destination. Mm-hmm. Man, my old lady from Acapulco, man, they got some of the most beautiful beaches ever. They go cliff diving in Acapulco. It's like a thing that people go do. Go cliff diving over there. That's a crazy place, but it's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Brother said, if I may, they stick together.
They stick together.
Yeah. That's one thing about Issachar. They're gonna stick together. They're gonna get the job done. But sadly, like, that's just one tribe, though.
Right.
We all supposed to stick together.
Right.
That's the problem, And again, Esau saw that, and it's already been prophesied. Hey, these people, hardworking, great work ethic, they're gonna stick together. But now they're gonna be servants.
They study us. They've been studying us for years. They know what type of person you are. They know what gets you. You ever met somebody I don't know about y'all, but it's like, you ever seen an oppressor like verbally picking or poking at anybody? They be like, it's like the thing, like, I'm not touching you. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do.
Yep.
And they know your characteristic. You're not gonna go for that, and you're gonna go to prison. You're gonna go to prison because you can't. They know what type of person you are.
Yep.
They know you easily more agitated than anybody else. They know what you go through. Well, same thing with Isupk. They know the personality and characteristic traits of Isupk. When you hear a white man say I'm in construction, best believe he doesn't do any damn construction. He just walks around with a hard hat on. We know who's doing the construction on the construction site. Isupk, if I may. And he saw that the rest was good. Is anybody what's the word, siesta? Mm-hmm. Where do you think they come from? They used to have that with an hour, 2-3 hours out of the day between afternoon time after lunch. They just take a nap and everything is closed. That is a Mexican standard. That is what they used to do. I don't know how about if they do it anymore. But all these qualities and characteristics that we're reading, this is said thousands of years ago, and we see it coming to pass now. And the land that it was pleasant and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. And verse 16, I kind of want to get into this really quickly as well. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan means to judge. That's Daniel. He's judging you. One of the most famous judges of Israel was who? Samson, a Danite. So Dan, during the Assyrian captivity, I got to go into it real quick. During the Assyrian captivity, Dan was taken into the Assyrian captivity with the rest of the 10 tribes, right? It was taken to that captivity. What ended up happening, Dan's numbers dwindled. Their numbers dwindled from war and from not having enough sons. This is how you become a nation. This is how you become a nation, right? And I'm going to prove that. This is how you become a nation. By your sons, having sons, having sons, having sons, having sons. You a man, you have 5 sons. Then your 5 sons have 25 sons. Then 25 sons have 125. Then next thing you know, you got 1,000 great-great-great-grandchildren. Then next thing you got 5,000, 10,000. Next thing you know, 70,000, y'all, 100,000, y'all. That's how you become a nation. Dan ended up dwindling. Their numbers dwindled. So what did they do? They went into Manasseh. I think it's in Deuteronomy 33, or is it here? Yeah, in Deuteronomy 33, when you read about Dan, it's a city. It's called Bashan. Bashan is basically a city of Manasseh. So it's talking about you're going to leap out of Manasseh. I'm going to prove to you like the characteristic of Dan. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. Meaning this, right? Think about like a rattlesnake. And not even a rattlesnake, just any snake. You don't hear him, but you know he's there. You don't hear him, but he's there. And he's the one that bites your horse. Your horse falls back. The horse falls on you, and then he bites you and tear your behind up. That's Dan. Dan is in Manasseh. They just don't know that difference.
Yeah, Danites kind of like, how can I explain this? Like, we don't really talk about the tribe of Dan because Dan kind of like
right.
Yeah, like they're
there.
Danites, but they're not called Danites, if that makes sense. If I could, did you bring up the meaning of Dan already?
Judge?
Yeah. Okay. I know.
But yeah, they're in Manasseh. They're in every other tribe as well, but the bulk of them are in Manasseh.
Yep.
They might call themselves Manasseh, but if they actually go back and trace their heritage and their lineage, which they will not be able to do because the white man is the devil, or the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because of that, and they stripped up of them heritage, they will know that they are actually Danites. That's why they're the adder in the path. That's why the scriptures say, there shall be a serpent by the way. Man, you know it's snakes over here, but you don't see the snake, but he gonna bite. Well, a lot of them Cubans, they're Danites. Not all of them, but they're Danites inside of Manasseh. That is what happened. They end up going into the Syrian captivity as a tribe and came out of Assyrian activity, not as a tribe anymore because their numbers dwindled down. Yeah. It's very simple. Verse 18? Yeah. I have waited for thy salvation. Oh, Salaki. I'm not. What was that? Oh, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. So the rest, for time's sake, Shalaki for us starting late. Actually, I car trouble. Anyway, but no cowards, no excuses. I got here. I always remember that. Anyway, we're gonna do the rest in English. We're gonna run through it really quickly. For time's sake, verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
Now, if I could, real quick, this is pretty straightforward. For time's sake, we're just gonna get through this. Gad, you already know who are the North American Indians, or really North American Native Americans, because I try not to use Indian because Indians are from India. Like, it's actually kind of like a slur against them.
Right.
But Gad, again, Gad, you already know. Gad are warriors. They troop. It's an army. All right. They're known for their warfare. All right. They knew the land. They knew how to fight. The only reason they lost, I'm gonna be real with you, they didn't even really lose in the traditional sense. It wasn't like they got outgunned. You want to know how a lot of Native Americans actually lost the war? It's because when the colonizers came over, they brought over diseases. They were dying off. That's what was going on. So it wasn't like Esau himself wasn't out boxing Gad.
Right.
It was that he carried all this disgusting crap with him because, again, they didn't practice personal hygiene. You can go all the way to where they come from. It was like, perfect example, when I watched Game of Thrones, it was like they really showed, like, it's fantasy, but they showed like how these people really are. Like, they used to, Slovakia, when they went to the bathroom, you know what they do? They had a big bucket. And you know what they did? They just dumped the waste like out the window. They didn't care who was there. It would hit whoever. Yeah, that's what they used to do. It was actually frowned upon. Crazy. It was frowned upon for European women to consistently take showers, because if they did, it's like they're washing away their beauty. That's a whole nother topic. My point is disgusting. So you're bringing all that nasty crap over here. Now, of course, Gad is clean. They living off the land, but they still clean. They know how to bathe. They know how to wash their freaking hands.
Right.
Esau was not doing that. He had the chickens and the pigs running around, pooping all over the place, still trying to make food. And you got the animals right here. The white man, he going out there messing with the land or whatever. He wouldn't wash his hands. He would just eat the food. And that thing was dirty. So that's how Gad ended up losing. So where it says Gad, a troop shall overcome him, meaning you the troop, but you are going to be overcome. Again, just the sins that we have committed. You know, we lost our way.
Right.
But then what does it say? But he shall overcome at the last.
Right.
Meaning at the end, Gad gonna get his get back.
Got to.
Best believe that. It's like
the book of First Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 8. Just a small characteristic of Gad again, and talk about how great they are and how skillful they are at war. And of the Gadites, there separated themselves unto David into the whole to the wilderness, men of might and men of war, fit for the battle, that could handle shield and bucklers, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountains. If you go look at old pictures of Gadites,
I know that was I said. Yep.
That war paint, you would be scared. You can sit here and act like you so tough. No, you're not. No, you're not.
He said
the only advantage the European had was the fear factor of a gunshot. A Gadite was able to shoot 5 to 8 arrows with accuracy, then move before you know where it came from, before they could shoot and reload.
Come on, man.
Those arrows could pierce their armor. We just read it.
Yeah.
What?
And them guns wasn't good back then. Like,
right.
It's not like how it is now. They had like shooting and
take it forever.
Shoot again, like.
And were as swift as the roads upon the mountains. Yes, man. Them people, bro, they knew. Man, just imagine it. And they said they moved so fast
because they knew the land.
Come on, man.
They knew what they was doing. You couldn't catch no Gadite.
Right.
You done.
Man, I said, what he said, 5 to 8 arrows with accuracy, and then move. Just taking out the quiver, hat. Run over here to you over there stuffing gunpowder. By the time they done ran over here,
where they go? That's the only reason. Again, Esau could not outbox in a fair fight. That's how they won.
You think about man, I wish I really had time. It's so many artifacts that you see on the Hebrew language with the Los Lunas rocks. Mm-hmm. It's so many artifacts that Gadites have that have Hebrew written on it, Paleo Hebrew on it. It's so many books. Man, go read Black Indians if you do not have Black Indians. It's another book I had. History of the American Indians. It's by like James Adair, and it tells you. I gotta find it. I'm gonna put it on my Facebook. So find me. Alatazar Yahweh. It basically tells you how the people came over, and the argument was that these were Chinese people. And when they came over to study them, they was like, these can't be no Chinese people. They did not come through no Bering Strait. These got to be, that's what it said. These got to be the old Jews. It's got to be the Israelites. It literally, that's what they say about them. You go through history, man. It's so much history that proves the language that all of us spoke was Hebrew. Everybody knew the creed. Everybody believed in one God, monotheism. That's what we believe in. Everybody else on the planet Earth always believed in multiple gods. Every kingdom we ever went into, there were multiple gods. There's always been that. But there's always been a group of people on the planet Earth that believed in one God. Every captivity is one group of people. They believed in one God, monotheism. That's who we were. We've always been that way. By me. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Do I want to get into Deuteronomy 33 as well, real quick.
Asher, if you don't remember, Asher just means happy in the Hebrew.
I know what. Oh, so it's a few different countries. It's basically Colombia to Uruguay, and they call them the Incas. You had Colombia, you got Brazil, you got Peru, you got Venezuela, Guyana, you got Paraguay, you got Uruguay, and you got Ecuador. That's a lot. That is a lot of landmass to cover for these people. Deuteronomy. Let me go to Deuteronomy 33 real quick. I'm glad the sister brought it out. Verse 24 and 25, if I may. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 24. And of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Again, look at all that land they took over because they had so many children, right? What was it? Let him be acceptable to his brethren and let him dip his foot in oil. If you don't know, Venezuela and Colombia, I know Colombia is really rich with oil, but Venezuela, from what I remember, was the third most leading export of oil.
I think it's Venezuela or Guyana. It's
that area.
That area.
Yeah. Dude, the natural oil comes from there. You can compete that with the oils over there in Saudi Arabia. But guess what? They don't get the benefit of it.
Right.
Again, because why? They are the 12 tribes of Israel and they are oppressed. I believe 3/4 of the revenue that they make yearly in those countries is from oil. He's gonna look it up right quick.
Yep, it is. Crude oil reserves in Venezuela amounted to nearly 303 billion barrels in 2003. In addition to being the undisputed leader in Latin America, the country also boasts the largest crude oil reserves worldwide. Brazil followed in the region, although by a large margin, with 15.9 billion barrels.
We didn't make that up. Here's the crazy part. This is what I want people to understand. Nobody ever been over here before. So when he made that, when he got that prophecy to tell them that nobody was ever over here, nobody knew nothing about no Uruguay, nobody knew nothing about no Western Hemisphere, man. It's sliding through the South, Central, and North America. Nobody knew any of that stuff. They didn't even know it was land over here. Exactly. And how can something be recalled from way back then and it proves you to be right today? It got to be God. And guess where it came out of? One West. People
are gonna still say the Bible isn't real. Like, this is the only book on the entire planet that prophesied things that have happened, are happening, and will happen today.
Come on, man. Like, to his brethren, let him dip his foot in oil. Verse 25. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days shall thou strength be. I had copied that actually. Iron and brass meant standing on a lot of mineral resources. So when you go down there, they do have some of the most mineral and natural resources in the world: iron, brass, chromium, nickel, tin, and copper.
That's why Portugal still wants. They still have ties to Brazil.
Right? Yeah, because of that. Speaking of Brazil, I'm glad you brought it out because I just found this out last night or maybe early this morning. The Hebrew word for iron. This is crazy, dude. Barazal.
That's crazy.
Barazal. Guess what is Barazal? Brazil. You can't make stuff up. Like I just found it out today.
That's crazy.
You can't make that stuff up, bro. Even when I was reading, I was like, damn.
No one's ever gonna connect that. I just learned this now too. I'm still learning
Barazal.
more. Still learning more about our tribes. That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Back in Genesis 49. Speaking of his bread shall be fat. Choice food and abundance of produce is located in Brazil, Colombia, Peru, and Venezuela. These countries are the world's biggest producers of cattle, sheep, goat, coffee, castor beans, cocoa, sugar, rice, corn, and fruits. You can't make this stuff up.
Even sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
No, I was just gonna say, even like the name, like happy again.
Come on.
Like it says, out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Meaning what? You're happy. Why are you happy? You're living off the fat of the land. You have an abundance of riches in your land. That's the nature of what's going on. We're reading it. I didn't even know. I knew like it was like that area. I wasn't sure if it was Venezuela because I remember it was like Guyana. It was like the Guyanese president. Because again, Esau is trying to get oil from them, but he's like, nah, like we not doing that. I already know what you're on about. So I thought it was Guyana, but Guyana is right next to Venezuela. So I'm not surprised that they rich in oil and everything. But my point of you bringing all this, like we reading it. He reading it. We showing you the nature of each and every single tribe and what was going to be prophesied. This was written thousands of years ago. How you prophesy what's going on now? It's God. Come on, man.
It has to be. Like, no other way. Verse 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. What is Naphtali?
Wrestling.
Look at it. If I may, what is it? I wrote it down. Present day Argentina and Chile. If I want to get Deuteronomy 33 again for this one, Arawak. I don't know how you say it. Arawak Indians. Arawak. Yeah, I'm glad you said it. Deuteronomy 33 and 23. And of Naphtali, he said, "O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of the Lord, possess thou the west and the south." I'm going to explain it to you as quick as you explain to me. Chile is the most west in South America. Argentina is the most south in South America. You're going to control the west and the south. You're going to control those borders. So anything that has to get brought there got to come through those places. This is all these small characteristics like that and places on where they will be. He did not know this. He did not know. He didn't. It's not like he saw them being in America. He just a vision was given to him, words was given to him to say, "This is where you're gonna be at. This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like this." Thousands of years later, the boys are there. They're exactly where he told them they would be at. Doing exactly what they said. What is it? A hind let loose? Naphtali is a hind let loose. This man running wild down there. He got the whole border basically, so he can do whatever he wants to do.
Pretty much.
To this day, I can't understand. I wish I had that sort of gift, that power to say a prophecy in 1,000 years. To get the vision, the way he got the vision is just. Think about Ariana, the way he got the vision. All he did broke his legs. He broke both legs. They told you you'll never walk again. For 3 years, you using a wheelchair. The Lord gave you a vision, and he wasn't even good at geography and good at history like that. There was another brother in school who was good at it. He was like, "Oh no, you're right," and just started proving it right. And now to this day, me and you both still finding out new stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, man. Verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over a wall.
So if I could, it's talking about Joseph, but remember Joseph's sons.
Right.
So I'm gonna focus mainly on Ephraim. So Ephraim in the Hebrew actually means to be fruitful.
Right.
So as Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well whose branches run over the wall. I brought this out last time. Ephraim is to the northern tribe as Judah is to the southern
Right.
tribe. Ephraim actually ruled over the northern tribes for quite some time. Now, again, all one nation, but this is the spirit of Ephraim. Ephraim is very fruitful. Ephraim, like when you think fruitful, just think like festive.
Right.
Very like I want to say like they're the Latino Judites. I don't know what to tell you. Like they just, and when you see like being from the East Coast, like you see Ephraim and Judah together, it's like I don't know what it is. I know what it is because spirit.
Right.
They just blend so well out of everybody else. Why? Because these are the two heads of their specific regions. So this is Ephraim we're talking about.
Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well. Meaning what? A fruitful bow meaning a bow is just a tree. And by a well, what is a well? A well is just it's water. Of course, they got to be on the island. A fruitful bow. Get to this part though, whose branches run over the wall. When this is why the argument this is one of the small arguments of why they don't think that they are Israelites, because of Spaniards.
Yeah,
we ran over that wall. What a lot of our sisters, Puerto Rican sisters, what did they do? They go over there and they got with the Spaniards. That's what they did. They went over there. It's an actual wall. It's a real wall in Puerto Rico. That oh my God, it's a wall. It blocks off. I think the conquistadors made it, or somebody made it to just keep them separate. It's a real wall, man. El Moro. It's El Moro. Instead of them, yeah, it means the wall, which was meant to keep other invading whites from stealing Boricua, which means brave lords, slaves, and taking Puerto Rico. So it's an actual wall there. How did the man even know it was going to be a wall? We're not making this stuff up, right? Whose branches run over the wall. Again, think about your branches. Think about your family tree. Think about all your daughters going over there and mixing with other nations. That's what they do. That's why it's such. Even now, when you go watch, even most Hispanic and Latin TV shows and all that, a lot of the times you're gonna see a bunch of Spaniards.
Yeah,
like lighter complexion. You just think they're nicer. They fool you just like they will fool you here in the Americas. But that's what Ephraim was known for. As a matter of fact, it talks about that in Hosea.
What would you say the name of the wall?
El Moro.
Yes, Murala. It says the most enduring symbol of Puerto Rico is La Murala. Nearly 400 years old, the city wall is composed of rock, rubble, and mortar and wraps around Viejo San Juan from the cruise ship piers on San Juan Harbor to the capital of the Atlantic Ocean. It is the symbol of the island's resilience in an ever-changing world. Over its long life, the wall has withstood multiple military attacks, but modern life in the form of automobile traffic, pollution, and misguided attempts at preservation has endangered the wall. The wall is only 400 years old.
You know what I'm thinking about?
What?
The gate stereo of language. Not even for Judah, but for Israel as well.
Exactly.
That's like the head of their tribe. Even when they came over, Ephraim and Nestor was the ones who was like, all right, we finna get up out of here. We finna leave and way over here, take this 1.5 year journey, and we're gonna come all the way and we're gonna start dropping y'all off from South America all the way up. That's really what happened, right? The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. That's just talking about him going to war with the conquistadors, right? Verse 24. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. We just went over that. I didn't read it ahead. I didn't even know that was coming up. That's what he just said, literally. It's like the head tribe of the northern kingdom. Yep. Verse 25. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. Okay, when you hear about Puerto Rico, what do you think? When you're like, man, it's Puerto Rico. Like, well, somebody about Puerto Rico, you think of just beauty. You think of just everything in Puerto Rico is beautiful. That's what you think about when you hear Puerto Rico. That's look at it.
Yeah. I want to select it. I could be wrong on this. I want to say I believe Puerto Rico had gold, which is one of the reasons why they called it Richport, which is Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And they're still trying to colonize it now. That's why now, like Puerto Rico isn't even labeled as a state; it's just U.S. territory. And they're going over there now, still robbing them of their resources. But when Puerto Rico needed aid, that's what America did. Nothing.
Went out there and shot paper towels, like a basketball.
I'll never forget
that.
Like,
dude, that was funny. To this day, they should put that up every year just to remind the Latinos this is what they think about you. Then the dude said, the comedian said, what he said, it's a floating land of trash or something like that. A floating piece of trash.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, that's how they. Here's the crazy part. If Africa was a 12 tribe of Israel, they would say that about Africa. They would talk so damn about Africa the way they talk about Puerto Rico and Cuba. You got a Cuban Muslim crisis. We went to war with Cuba. Cuba's out like, dude, they're not doing that with no other countries, man. Besides, all they're doing is trying to colonize us. They're not doing it with anybody else, man. If I may, the blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors. Unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills, they shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. I got a book. I just copied and pasted some out the book. It's called Yucatan Before and After the Conquest by Friar Diego de Landa. I'm sure you do.
Is it the green cover?
Nothing. Mine was white.
Okay, it might be.
It could have been a green cover too, because I remember I had got on Amazon. It was like paperback.
Okay.
So yeah, it contains what the natives told the Spaniards of their trip to the New World and of what descent they were.
Oh, this is the same book. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I got mine PDF. So yeah.
Okay.
Some old men of Yucatan say that they have heard from their ancestors that this country was peopled by a certain race who came from the east, whom God delivered by opening for them 12 roads through the sea. If this is true, all the inhabitants of the Indies must be of Jewish descent. We're not making this stuff up. Latinos, Hispanics, only reason why Latinos don't want to be called Hispanics because the way Hispanics are being treated. Guess what? Latinos are being treated the same way. They didn't think they would be afforded the opportunities that Hispanics weren't afforded. So in essence, they saw how people over here were treated. So the other guys, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, people who think Latino, they was like, nah, we don't want to be considered Hispanic. We don't want to be considered what they're considered. But they saw how bad they were being treated. Lo and behold, y'all come up here and get treated just the same.
Don't matter what tribe you're from. Esau know who the hell is. Like,
they know
blood. Like it was an interview. I forgot the dude's name, white dude, and this is like when there was an influx of like more Haitians, because again, you know what's going on in Haiti. If you don't know, you should look it up. But there's a lot of Haitians that are fleeing Haiti. They're going to Mexico and they're coming to the U.S. So the ones that are coming to the U.S., again, people like to say, Salakia to my Dominican brothers and sisters. Simeon is kind of known for the I know black thing.
Right.
But there are, I'm gonna say other southern tribes that are not from America, like non-Jews.
Right.
Say that. Who think like, oh, I'm not black. I'm not gonna be labeled as that. I'm not that. I'm better than them. You want to know what happened when the Haitians came over? I'm not saying Haitians do this, but I'm saying like when Levites came over, they're describing the Haitians and they slipped up and called them niggas. Straight up. From a whole different island, speak a whole different language, but you come up in here and guess what? Esau still recognized you like, oh yeah, these are just some island niggas. That's all it is.
Just niggas from somewhere else.
That's it. They're from down by the river. That's all it is. But you're still being treated the same. Why? Because they still got that same spirit. They look at you. Exactly. That's what it was. You know, Haitians, they do nothing to them. They're just trying to flee their country because they're getting raided right now.
Right.
It's freaking crazy, and now they get treated like
that. Same old.
Yep.
Verse 27. Oh, this is you. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil.
So, okay. So Benjamin, I think it's God's right hand.
Yes.
Or the right hand. So Benjamin, you got again the nature of Benjamin. Benjamin, when you read a lot about the Benjamites in the Bible, one of them, which I'm not too proud of, Saul. Saul was one of the first kings of Israel. He was a Benjamite. Y'all all know how Saul was. Saul, it's like for my language, was an asshole.
Right.
Saul was very power hungry, and he didn't care who he had to step on in order to get to his power. He had a very inflated ego. Benjamin has this way of like, I guess kind of like Levi in a sense, like kind of hard to check him. It's like you let Benjamin loose a little too much unchecked. This is my tribe. It kind of messed up everything.
Yeah.
They don't know when to quit. All right. Benjamin didn't know, or I'll say Saul didn't know when to back off because, again, he had his turn. He messed it up. So, of course, the Lord said he's going to raise up a better man than him. Here comes David. David was a righteous man, right? Guess what Saul did? Tried to kill him. All right. He tried to kill him every single time. Now, that's the bad part of Benjamin. But then there's the good part of Benjamin. Again, God's right hand. Who was David's best friend? It was actually Saul's son.
Yep.
Jonathan. All right. So, Jonathan, he was kind to him. He aided David. He gave him, I believe he gave him his girl.
Yes.
Right. And he told him like, hey, like my father, he tripped, like he's trying to get you. Matter of fact, Paul, Christ had to, if y'all know about Paul did not play about Christ. They walking around, somebody got a little too close, slice their ear off with a sword. You know how precise you gotta be and how dangerous you gotta be to slice somebody's ear off with a sword? Y'all had a little bit like, hey, shut up.
You know what I'm thinking too?
What's up?
Paul, before he was Saul, and he was unaliving everybody who considered themselves to be a follower of Christ. Yeah, this is crazy.
Now look at him.
Now look at him. Now he's Paul. The side of Benjamin, dude. No cap again. Like you said, even talking about Levites, but Benjamin for sure. If you don't know them, you might be a little thrown off because when they get to talking, it's rough. That's why the raven as a wolf. You're like, hey, this brother, they don't play it. Bati boy, like they not playing. None of that.
You can't play none of that stuff.
They don't play it. It's like if you're not friends with them, you better get friends with them because they don't play. I'm telling you, I'd rather go to war with a bunch of Benjamites. Look, we had a whole civil war with Benjamin,
and we were the smallest tribe.
We had a whole to the point. Look, this is how bad it got. Benjamin was good, so all of us just had to join and just take care of Benjamin, right? Because Benjamin was just that. They're that, and they're the youngest one, right? Look, it got to the point where we did so much damage, and this is another thing. I'm not meaning to get off topic. When we talk about like the club and stuff like that, and getting women, right? We had to have a party so Benjamin could get their numbers back up. We threw a party. I forget where it said. Benjamin, we threw a party, and they was like, yeah, no, because we still know their tribe. We just was beefing because of this whole Saul thing. Mm-hmm. We threw a party, and we let all our daughters go over there. And Benjamin just chose who he wanted to choose. And he couldn't just physically take her. The sister had to want him too. Yeah, because that's not how we get down. But we had a big old party. It was just a big party for that purpose, for them to find them a wife. What happens at a party? You know what happens at a party. Some grinding went on, some game was spit, some strong was there, some yan.
I'm gonna just say it like this. Benjamin had to rebuild, if you will. But I'm being real, but like again, it shows like you said, like the nature, because there's like we're going through the tribes right now. This is what you can take from this, right? Before we continue. There's good side and there's bad side of each tribe. Like Isupk, hard working, but they got turned to service. Judah, very well praised, supposed to be in the forefront. But he got withered out and he became like a soft version of the line for the most part. Freaking who am I missing real quick? Gad, a troop, got taken down by troops.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like there's always like a nature that goes with everyone. But yeah, Benjamin, for the most part, I'm gonna just give it to you, Slacky. Benjamin crazy.
Crazy.
And yeah, like you said, like it's funny. Me and my rib, she's never been where I'm from, so we went down there. And I'm telling them, I tell this to everybody. I'm like, look, if you go into a Jamaican restaurant and the lady is rude, the food good. All right. Now to me, it ain't rude to me. I'm just like, that's just how they talk. I'm an Americanized Benjamin. I don't speak patois, nothing like that.
Right.
I'm used to the dialect, so it's like they ain't being mean. If you've never talked to them like a real Benjamite, not me, a real one, you might get a little like talking to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell, like you kind of like, but they cool.
They cool.
Real cool. It's just they don't. Again, it's that like intensity. They don't play.
Camel Shock.
Oh yeah,
you know Camel Shock personally, brother. Hey, give you the shirt off his back. I'm type of kind man. Give you words of encouragement. Nigga, don't play. Don't play. Run the whole school. Don't play with this man. Like his brothers, you like. I'm not playing with him. Like his brother cool, but then you just be like, oh, okay. I see why he is what he is. Man, Camel Shock, man, look. Commander Young, look. Commander Young, he was a rocker. He would tear you up, man. Like, he'll tear you up, man. I'm just trying to let you know now. Like, don't try us in here. Yeah. Because Benjamin in here. If I may, let me run through this. What we on 13? All right, cool. And he charged like verse 28. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them and blessed them. Everyone according to his blessing, he blessed them. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim the Hittite for a possession of a burying place. There they burned Abraham and Sarah his wife, where they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife. There I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. Verse 33. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed and yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people. Chapter 50, verse 1. And Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept upon him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed Israel. Remember this too. I think it was last week or the week before, where it says Joseph would be there to close his eyes, letting them know, hey, Joseph's gonna be there at the end of your days. You didn't, he was gone for 13, 14, 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
But he's gonna be there at the end of your days.
He got to see his son
again
after all them years. Thought he was dead, and again lived a hard life. I think 130. He passed when he was 147.
Yeah. So them last 17 years, he got to see the.
Yep, he got to see what his son accomplished.
Come on, man. Beautiful. This is crazy. Chapter 50, verse 1, verse 3. And 40 days were fulfilled for him, for so are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Lo, I die. In my grave, which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan, there shalt thou bury me. Now therefore let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury thy father, according as he made thee swear. And Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, and all the house of Joseph, and his brethren, and his father's house. Only their little ones and their flocks and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan. And there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. Wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mizraim, or Mizraim, which is beyond Jordan. And his sons did unto him according as he commanded them. Verse 13. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field for a possession of a burying place of Ephraim the Hittite before Mamre. That's it. Today I know we couldn't get into it like we want to get into, but again, we got it's a time, and this is the reason why Captain Cott's breakdown was almost 4 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot we didn't get to touch on, but for the most part, I hope through this class we can kind of give more of a few things. One, prove that yes, we are the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's just get that out, right? Like people always ask, well, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? You read the Bible, right? The Bible prophesied history. You read history. Like trust me, we still learning stuff too. I didn't know that about Panama. Right. I'm like, wow, it makes so much sense. Zebulon, like it's right there. My point being is, it's here. Right, it's here. Like the proof is here. We didn't just come up with it out of nowhere. Some people try to say, "Oh, the 12 tribes chart is a lie." No, it's not, because we proved it right now. This was a skim. A skim. There's captains in this school who can give you a much more layered breakdown. Right. But again, like for time's sake, this is what we were able to do. Also, side note, just again going on to Jacob, he got to pass, in a sense, like he got to pass peacefully, and his son was right there with him in the end, a son that he thought was gone. He thought he was dead. 130 years of suffering. That brother was, look, Jacob was going through it, man. All he knew, I forgot what precept it was, but I'm paraphrasing, where he just, all he knows is our shit. That's all he knew.
So he told Pharaoh.
Yeah. And then finally got to see his son, got to be joined with all his other children, see his grandchildren. He got to just live the rest of his days. It might have just been 17 years, but 17 years of peace. And that's what you should be striving for. We know this is not our time of rest. We know this. That's in the Bible. We know this, right? But you work and you work and you work and you work. And guess what? Everything, your work is not going to go unnoticed. You might have a time where you might, Lord allow, 80 years old, you see your grandkids. Who knows? Christ might come back at that time, or things that at least might be lead up, more to that. Right. And you got to finish out your days in peace, because that's what we want. Because eventually you want to come back in a time of peace. But can't have peace unless we make it. So that's all I got.
That's it. I yield. Right. This was a great class. I enjoyed this class. Actually, I enjoy every week being up here with this brother. It's funny, like the time it takes to make a class, and I don't want to go off. I'm not going to go off subject too crazy. This is why I want you brothers and sisters to understand. You have to have some type of department. You have to have some type of responsibility in this school, simply because it ingratiates you more into the work of the Lord. The more work you're doing for the Lord, the better off your life is going to be. Why? Because you're not worried about foolishness that's outside of the school. This is not a class that you can learn in like half a day. No, I have to study this stuff like weekly. I have to go through them like, okay, this is this is that, this is what it's talking about. What did we do last week? What can I improve on? I have to do that weekly because I know every Sabbath day, I'm gonna be here, except my fourth Saturday because the white man is the goddamn devil. You know what I'm saying? But I want to stress the brothers about getting into a position, getting into a department. You have to, because now think about you having a child. You want to quit this job, but you have a responsibility to put food on this table to provide for this child. Come on. You know that. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna suck it up, Paul, and you're gonna do it, right? Same thing with this school. I have a responsibility. Brothers, excellent for brothers who showed up yesterday. Again, I had to slay the white man the devil, so I couldn't beat up. But the brothers fed and clothed people who were dispersed because of the fires in Southern California. Have something to do. Give yourself a responsibility. Don't wait for somebody to tell you to do something. Just go take it.
Yeah, don't be proactive. Don't be reactive.
Come on. We want you to be the best that you can be. We listen to what we're telling you. Apply yourself. This breakdown this was nothing. This is just skim of milk. This is easy. Imagine like, I really want to know this breakdown so I can really know this. Okay, go watch. Go talk to people. Go watch different classes. Go find you something to do. Ingratiate yourself in the school, because I'm telling you, It's gonna come to a point where you're gonna lack faith, and the reason why you're gonna lack faith because you didn't do enough to gain more strength. You didn't take the counsel correctly. You didn't apply what's being told you. All these scriptures we've been applying to you weekly. The only reason why I'm going to this, I'm not gonna see you next week. But all these scriptures we've been going over weekly and telling you about the work of the Lord and telling you about how the Lord has commanded this and how things are gonna happen. And we're telling you this weekly. We're giving you weekly. I might hit a point every week. It's a point in every class that we hit, and we just stay there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it takes us longer, just like right now. The point is, we want you to apply because these things will help build your strength in the school. The more strength you have in the school and this work, the more we can put more plate. We can put more on your plate, so more people can come in here, more and more and more. Imagine when the school started in 1969. Now look at the school. Now look at the school. Now look at the brothers. Now look at the sisters. From 9 years old all the way down to babies. Brothers and sisters in the school actually care about the work of the Lord. The water for showing up every week, man. The same people I like my clan. It's the same people every week. The water to y'all. Yeah.
Yep. Best thing I could say, just to wrap it up, not to be too long-winded. Our work is not done. The kingdom ain't here yet.
Right.
We not done yet, but y'all see that the fruits of our labor are starting to flourish. It might be small to us, right? But it got to get started somewhere.
Right.
So as usual, the water to everybody that tuned in to class. The water Ottawa, I appreciate it. The water to all of you.
Right.
You know, it really helps out a lot because we nothing without each other.
Right.
Like as you can clearly see, as we just broke down the 12 tribes for the most part, we are nothing without each other because we all have a certain set of skills that make up a nation. 12 tribes, but we one nation. Gotta remember that, right? So with that, I think.
No, all right.
With that, shalom.